basketball shoes nowadays are way too expensive, especially from more traditional brands like Nike or Adidas, and most of the time they're not even the best performers on the court. So that's what we're going to talk about today. 5 pairs that you should definitely avoid and 5 pairs that you should get instead. The first pair you should avoid is the Nike LeBron 23. I really didn't like them. I had high expectations because they have a drop in midsole. I was really excited. I thought, oh, they're going to be like the Kobe 8 or the Kobe 9 or something like that. They're way too heavy. They're extremely clunky and bottom heavy. The materials are kind of stiff. Okay, the traction performance was decent, but it's also a weird outsole and it just doesn't grip all areas of the court. And the pair you should get instead is definitely the 808 Ultra, or this is the Volume 2, 808 Ultra Volume 2 from Way of Wade. They're cheaper, they have a drop in midsole, which is way better. They've got better traction performance, they can be worn outdoors, and overall the shoe is one of the best performers at the moment for a lower price and just trumps these in every category in my personal opinion. I said the traction performance is durable enough for outdoors. If you mainly play outdoors, I'd get the Volume 2, as the upper is also a little bit thicker and more durable. The main highlight of the shoe, of course, is the Super Boom drop-in midsole. Very bouncy, great impact protection, still not too high off the ground. Overall, just a very comfortable shoe. The only issue I have with them, or the one downside there is that they're pretty narrow. So if you are a wide footer, I'd in general stay away from drop-in midsole shoes, as they're more narrow in general, or just overall they have a more narrow fit. And I'd go for other shoes that will be coming up on this list. But if you want to drop a midsole shoe and you don't mind narrow shoes, or you have normal sized feet, the 808 Ultra V2 is goddamn amazing. The next pair you should avoid is again from Nike, the Nike GD Cut 4. Crazy expensive. The fit is a catastrophe. I can't say it in any other way. I've tried 2 colorways. This one gave me huge amounts of blisters on both my feet. I still have scar tissue there, so I just don't want to wear them, even though the look or the design of the shoe is really damn cool. I can't say anything about that. They take forever to break in for the traction performance as well. The materials aren't even fully broken in, and I don't think I'm going to wear them to play basketball anymore, just because I don't want to get blisters all over my feet. They're very narrow. The toe box is kind of a triangle, and if you compare it with your foot shape, which usually like goes outward here, or your toes just go outward, and here it's like pointy. It kind of reminds me of like a clown or like a sultan shoe or something like that. So it's just not it in my opinion, and for most foot shapes just not it. If they fit your foot shape, okay, and if you like the design, okay, if you have the money, go for them. But the cushioning setup is the only thing that actually is okay for everyone's feet. The whole rest of the shoe just isn't there for me, and they're way too expensive as well in my personal opinion. What should you get instead? If you have a higher budget, I can highly recommend the Joker 2 GT or the Way of Wade 12. Both feel even better on foot, or way better on foot, have approximately the same price. You can save on them as well by using my discount links and codes for 361 and Way of Wade. You can find them in the description box down below. For Way of Wade it's LucasSimmer10, and for 361 it's Lucas with a second S. And you can even get them for cheaper than the GD Cut 4. Traction performance on both these pairs is absolutely amazing. Some of the best gripping basketball shoes I've ever tried. Cushioning setup is a highlight on both as well. Slightly better on the Way of Wade 12. You have a full-length carbon plate in between 2 layers of Super Boom, and here you just have a regular carbon fiber shank plate in between. I think it's like Quick Foam and some other names. 361 has some really complicated names for the cushioning setups. I also have a full review of these if you're interested, and of the Way of Wade 12 as well. They're very supportive, they're extremely comfortable on foot, and they didn't give me crazy amounts of blisters. But if you don't have such a high budget, I can also recommend you get the All City 14 from Way of Wade. They're a very nice shoe with similar features and a similar feel to the GD Cut 4, or what the GD Cut 4 was supposed to feel like, essentially the GD Cut 1 and the other 2 shoes I mentioned. And they're cheaper, or if you want to go even on a lower budget, the All City 13 is on sale right now, and as I said, if you use my discount code, you get even more off the retail price. So those are really great basketball shoes with way better value for money. And just because there's a swoosh on the shoe doesn't mean they're the best performing shoes, and doesn't mean you should spend 200 euros on a pair of basketball shoes. The next pair you should avoid, in my opinion, is the Curry 13 from Under Armour, and what you should get instead is the Curry Series 7 from Under Armour. These are kind of what I thought the Curry 13 were going to be. It was kind of weird that they released the Series 7 first, as there was this whole uncertainty of where Curry was going to sign. We still don't know, and he wasn't even wearing the Series 7 or hardly wears the Curry 13, so it's a little bit weird right now at Under Armour, but he's for sure going to leave, and I think they were kind of in a little bit of a rush to get this shoe out. I do like the certain colorways, I do like design features, but the performance just doesn't feel like a Curry shoe. They're kind of heavy for a Curry shoe as well. The traction performance isn't as good as what we're used to from the Flow setup. They struggle immensely with dust pickup. The cushioning setup is kind of too high in the ground, too low in the forefoot. Support is one area that's good, and I also didn't like the material. The materials, they just feel cheap. It's just a fabric material, which normally I like. It's actually very similar to what we have on the Series 7 as well, but it just feels way more stiff, way cheaper, and just not as premium. Just for a quick comparison here, as you can see, there's just more tension on there as well. This one is way softer. Yes, I've worn them slightly more, but still, that's just not what a Curry shoe used to feel like. And on the Series 7, we have that top tier Curry traction bite that we're used to. We have a very, very good cushioning setup. Essentially, these are a running shoe beefed up for basketball, just with enough support. Very, very thin materials, good lockdown still, a very stiff and supportive shank plate in the middle, so that's always nice. As you can see, midfoot doesn't flex, just the forefoot. So if you want to get them there around the same retail price, I'd definitely go for the Series 7. So if you really want to get a Curry shoe, that's the one I'd go for. Another shoe you should avoid is the MB5 from Puma. Another series where the line has kind of fallen off. I like the 1 and the 2s. The 3s were not as good, the 4s I didn't like much, and the 5s, I do like the ideas they have with the collab. This is like the right pair from the Rick and Morty collab. We had the Fast and Furious collab, now they're doing a Pokemon collab as well with the All Pro Nitro 2, but the performance just is not it in my personal opinion. And what you should get instead is the regular Joker 2 from 361. You might think that's a big stretch to have this one as a replacement for the MB5 because the two players are not at all similar, but hear me out, in my opinion, the shoes themselves actually are quite similar. Both have a very wide base, comfortable materials, and most importantly, you've got sick colorways on the Joker 2s. And I think a big reason for why Melos are still bought is, first of all, of course, a lot of people are a fan of Melo himself, but second of all, the colorways that you get on the shoes are actually really, really nice and they look cool on foot. And the Joker 2 line has some amazing colorways. This one is probably my favorite, but we also have mismatched colorways. We have some other colorways and in like really bright colors that look very, very good on foot. So in my opinion, that's why I put them there, or that's why I put them there, not in my opinion. The MB5 just doesn't have good traction performance. The cushioning feels weird. It's kind of like, for me, it always felt like walking in quicksand because it felt to me like the energy I was putting into the shoe was just being left in the shoe and not given back, or the energy I put into the ground was kind of getting stuck in the shoe, so I always felt kind of slow in them. And here, you still have a very comfortable feel. They wrap around your foot, they're very supportive, but you get way more back. The cushioning setup is really, really good. We have a good midfoot shank plate as well, so there's good support. And I love the lace system, and I already said I absolutely love the colorways. Plus, they're also a little bit cheaper. You can save on them by using my code, as I said before. But I'm mentioning it so often because you can directly support me and my content with it. And now for the last pair of this video, I have the Crazy Energy Plus from Adidas as the pair you should avoid, and the D-Lo one from Way of Wade as the pair you should get. I actually like this shoe, but they have one massive issue, which is heel slip, and I just can't play in basketball shoes with heel slip. I like the design, I like the Light Select Pro cushioning setup, the traction performance, herringbone pattern is actually good as well. But what makes them so weird is, if you look at a shoe, let's just compare these two shoes, you'd guess that the last lace loop of this shoe would be somewhere around here or here to have good lockdown, but the last lace loop is actually all the way here in front, so you just can get a good lockdown. No matter how hard I tie these, my foot always comes out. And just by comparing it to the D-Los, the lace loop, it would be like not having this last lace loop right here, just this one here. And of course, then your heel would slip out because you just can be locked into the heel. So that's really the biggest issue with them. Plus, they're expensive, 150 euros or dollars for, yes, a good looking shoe, but heel slip is just a no-go. It's an injury risk, and that's why you're way better off with the D-Lo ones. A similar shoe, minor issues with torsional support, so if you're a heavier player, I'd also go for something like the OCD 13 or OCD 13 Encore as a backup pair or a replacement for these. But if you're not as heavy or don't put as much force into your shoes, these are absolutely amazing. Good traction performance, can be worn outdoors. boom cushioning, light foam Ultra in the heel, so actually 2 cushioning setups in a shoe that's around 110, 120 euros or dollars. And again, you can use my discount code. I know I'm repeating myself. The materials are nothing too special, but they break in nicely, they get soft, and you also have some really cool colorways available. I like the caution colorway. Also had the same one on the All-City 13 because my team's jerseys are yellow and black, but there's some pink colorways, there's blue colorways, there's mismatching colorways, so there's really a wide selection. And in my opinion, if you should pay for your basketball shoes, if you should pay higher prices, let's say over 120, 150, 200 euros, then it should be a shoe that actually performs good and not something that just has a Nike swoosh on it or Adidas stripes. With all that being said, that's all I have for you today. If I missed any pairs that you think should be avoided, let me know in the comment section down below. As always, I'd really appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe to my channel to not miss any other videos. Have a good one and see you next time.